Imagine a phone that folds in half, but leaves absolutely no trace of the fold when you open it. No groove, no bump, just a perfect sheet of glass. This has been the dream for years, the holy grail of foldable tech. And for the longest time, it felt like we were stuck with that annoying crease down the middle. But everything is about to change. We are only 6 months away from the next big thing in the mobile world, and the rumors are already flooding in. It looks like the battle for the best foldable is finally heating up, not just between Samsung and the usual suspects, but potentially a new challenger from Cupertino. So, get your snacks ready, sit back, and let's dive deep into the future. This is everything we know about the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8. The biggest, most exciting rumor right out of the gate is the display. For years, we have dealt with a crease. You can see it, you can feel it, and sometimes it just ruins the immersion. But the Galaxy Z Fold 8 might finally solve this. Reports suggest a completely crease-free display. This is actually a rumor that started with the potential iPhone Fold. It seems Apple has been waiting for the technology to mature enough so that they can release a foldable without a crease. But here's the kicker. Who makes displays for Apple? Samsung. So, if Apple is getting a crease-free panel, you better believe Samsung is keeping that technology for their own flagship as well. This isn't just speculation. This new display panel technology was actually showcased at CES 2026. The secret sauce here seems to be a new dual ultra-thin glass structure. It is a completely redesigned approach to how the layers of the screen stack up. On top of that, the backplate, the part that supports the screen from underneath, might be manufactured using a brand new laser drilling technology. This sounds super technical, but what it means for you is simple. It reinforces the structure where the fold happens. By making that area stronger and more flexible in a specific way, it helps decrease the mechanical stress that causes the crease. It is the exact same tech Apple is allegedly eyeing for their device. It feels like we are finally moving past the prototype phase of foldables into something that feels like a finished, polished product. Now let's talk about the size. If you love the form factor of the previous models, you are in luck. If you hated it, well, you might have to wait for the twist I'll mention later. The outer display is set to be around 6.5 inches, and the inner massive canvas will be around 8 inches. This keeps the aspect ratio pretty much identical to last year's Fold. Samsung seems to have found a shape they like, and they are sticking to it. The peak brightness is also staying steady at a blinding 2,600 nits. That is incredibly bright. Whether you're on a beach or in a dark room, that screen is going to pop. Both screens will obviously run at 120 Hz for that buttery smooth scrolling we all expect now. However, there is one concern that needs to be addressed. Brightness on a spec sheet is one thing, but sustained brightness is another. If you have used a Fold 7, you know that it tends to dim its screen pretty quickly if you are using it outside on a hot day. It's a safety measure to stop the phone from overheating, but it can be annoying. We really hope Samsung has tweaked the thermal management in the Fold 8 to let us keep that max brightness for longer periods. The outer display is getting a toughness upgrade too, rumored to be using Gorilla Glass ceramic too. This should make the front screen much more resistant to drops and scratches, which is essential for a device this expensive. Speaking of design, let's look at the body of the phone. Samsung has been experimenting with materials a lot lately. Last year, we saw a titanium backplate on the Fold 7, which felt very premium. But for the Fold 8, rumor has it they might ditch the titanium. Instead, they could return to CFRP. That stands for carbon fiber reinforced plastic. Now, before you panic and think plastic means cheap, hear me out. This is likely a strategic move to cut weight and cost without sacrificing structural integrity. Carbon fiber is incredibly strong and very light. The frame itself will likely still be made from armor aluminum. They actually made the aluminum 10% stronger on the Fold 7, and they will likely carry that over or improve it slightly for the Fold 8. There is a catch with aluminum, though. It is a soft metal. If you drop an aluminum phone, even a strong one, it scuffs easily. If you have ever dropped a Fold 7 even a tiny distance, you might have seen visible marks. So, while armor aluminum sounds cool, it isn't indestructible. We are hoping for a bit more durability in the finish this year. The hinge is also getting looked at. The upgraded Armor Flex hinge and multi-rail structure from the previous model will likely be reused. It is a solid design, but there is always room for refinement to make the opening and closing action feel even smoother. One of the most critical aspects of any foldable is how thick and heavy it is. You are essentially carrying two phones in your pocket, so every millimeter counts. Samsung is reportedly aiming for a thickness of 8.9 millimeters when folded and just 4.2 millimeters when unfolded. These are very impressive numbers. The Fold 7 is already the thinnest foldable on the market right now, so maintaining or slightly improving that is great. However, the competition is moving fast. We have seen trifold devices recently that are even thinner, coming in at 3.9 millimeters at their thinnest point. So, while Samsung is doing well, they aren't the only ones pushing the limits of physics anymore. But where the Fold 8 might truly blow everyone away is the weight. The rumors suggest it could weigh 200 grams or even less. To put that in perspective, the Fold 6 was 239 grams. The Fold 7 dropped to 215 grams. If they can shave off another 15 grams to hit 200, that would be unreal. It doesn't sound like much on paper, but on a foldable, weight distribution is everything. Because the phone has such a large surface area, spreading that weight out makes it feel significantly lighter in your hand. If they hit that 200-gram mark, this massive folding tablet will feel lighter than some regular flagship slab phones. That is a massive engineering achievement. Now, usually, when you make a phone thinner and lighter, the battery suffers. That has been the curse of modern smartphones. But the leaks for the Fold 8 are saying the exact opposite. Finally, after 6 long years of stagnation, we are getting a battery upgrade. Since the Galaxy Z Fold 2, we have been stuck with roughly the same 4,400 mAh battery. It was decent, but power users always wanted more. The Fold 8 is rumored to jump up to a 5,000 mAh cell. This is huge news. You have to appreciate the engineering here. They're making the phone lighter, keeping it super thin, and somehow finding space for a bigger battery. Last year, they slimmed down the phone by 25%, but kept the battery the same size. This year, they are optimizing the internal space even further. We aren't 100% sure on the battery technology yet. It could be the new silicon carbon tech we are seeing in some Chinese foldables, which allows for much higher density. However, looking at the numbers, a jump from 4,400 to 5,000 is about a 13% increase. That feels more like a high-density lithium-ion upgrade, similar to what we see in the iPhone Air rumors. If it were silicon carbon, we might expect crazy numbers like 6,000 mAh. But honestly, 5,000 is a very welcome sweet spot. Combine this bigger battery with a new chipset, and endurance should be excellent. The Fold 8 is expected to run on the Snapdragon 8 Legion 5. This chip is going to be a beast. It is not just about raw speed, it is about efficiency. Combined with a more efficient OLED panel, the battery life gains could be significant. You might finally get through a heavy day of multitasking, gaming, and video watching without reaching for a charger by 6 p.m. Okay, we have covered the good stuff. Now we have to talk about the not-so-good stuff. The cameras. If you were hoping for the Fold 8 to finally become the ultimate camera king, you might be disappointed. The leaks indicate that the camera hardware is remaining largely static. The main sensor is set to be the same 200-megapixel shooter found in the S25 Ultra and the Fold 7. Don't get me wrong, that is a great sensor. It takes fantastic photos with tons of detail, but it is the same. The selfie cameras are also staying put with two 10-megapixel sensors. Again, serviceable but not groundbreaking. The only real change we are seeing is in the ultra-wide camera. That is rumored to jump from 12 megapixels to 50 megapixels. That is a nice upgrade. It means your wide-angle shots will be sharper and you will have more room to crop in. Without losing detail, it is likely the same sensor used in the S25 Ultra's ultra-wide. But the real problem, the elephant in the room, is the telephoto lens. The current 10-megapixel telephoto camera has a tiny sensor. It is 1/3.94 inches. In technical terms, that is small. In practical terms, it means it is terrible in low light. If you try to zoom in at a concert or in a dimly lit restaurant, the quality falls apart. It becomes grainy and muddy. We were really hoping this would be the year Samsung upgraded that sensor to something bigger. Competitors like Honor and Oppo are putting massive periscope zoom lenses in their foldables, and the difference is night and day. Sadly, it looks like Samsung might just bump the resolution to 12 megapixels but keep the small sensor size. That won't fix the low light issues. For a phone that costs as much as a used car, having a weak camera lens is a tough pill to swallow. And speaking of cost, let's address the price tag. The Galaxy Z Fold series has always been expensive. We are talking about $2,000. That is significantly more than almost any other phone you can buy. The good news is that Samsung isn't planning a price hike. They are likely keeping it at that same $2,000 mark. In an economy where everything is getting more expensive, a price freeze is basically a discount, right? Well, maybe not, but it is better than a price increase. One thing that might sting a bit at this price point is the situation with the S Pen. On the Fold 7, Samsung removed S Pen support. They also left it out of their new tri-fold device. Rumors are swirling that the Fold 8 might see the return of the S Pen, or it might not. It is a controversial topic. Personally, I think removing it was a mistake. Sure, not everyone uses a stylus. But when you have a massive 8-inch screen, it is the perfect canvas for drawing, taking notes, or editing photos. It just makes sense to have the option. Plus, almost every other competitor, Honor, Huawei, even the rumored Apple Foldable, is supporting styluses. If Samsung wants to stay ahead, they need to bring the pen back. But wait, there's more. The leaks have dropped a massive bombshell that changes everything. We might not just be getting a Galaxy Z Fold 8. We might be seeing a second foldable phone from Samsung. And no, I'm not talking about the Flip. I'm talking about the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide. This is Samsung potentially borrowing a page from Apple's playbook. Apple is rumored to be working on a foldable with a wider aspect ratio, and Samsung doesn't want to be left behind. The Fold 8 Wide would completely change the shape of the phone. Instead of the tall, narrow remote control shape we are used to, this would be shorter and wider, like a passport. The outer screen would be around 5.4 inches, similar to the rumored iPhone Fold. The inner screen would open up to a 7.6-inch canvas with a 4:3 aspect ratio. This is a big deal for content consumption. Most YouTube videos and movies are shot in 16:9. On the current tall fold devices, you get massive black bars at the top and bottom when you watch video. On a wider foldable, the video fills much more of the screen. It is a more natural shape for a tablet. However, it does come with a trade-off. A wider phone is harder to hold in one hand when it is closed. The current narrow fold is actually really easy to grip one-handed. A wider version might feel a bit more like holding a brick. It is a battle of philosophies. Do you want a better one-handed phone that opens into a square? Or do you want a wider phone that opens into a landscape tablet? It is fascinating to see Samsung potentially offering both options to see what the market prefers. It is still early days for the wide rumors, so we don't have concrete specs on cameras or battery for that specific model. But it is safe to assume it would share most of the internals with the standard Fold 8. It really just comes down to which shape fits your lifestyle better. So what does that leave us? The Galaxy Z Fold 8 is shaping up to be a refinement year in some areas and a revolution in others. The design is getting lighter, thinner, and stronger. The battery is finally getting the boost we have been begging for. The display might finally banish the crease forever. These are all wins. The cameras are a bit of a letdown if you demand the absolute best zoom, but for 99% of people, they will still be excellent. The real question is, are you ready to drop $2,000 on the future? Or are you going to wait and see if Apple or the Chinese competitors can do it better? The foldable war is just getting started, and the next 6 months are going to be absolutely wild. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Galaxy Z Fold 8, please smash that like button. It really helps the channel out. Make sure to hit subscribe and ring that bell icon so you don't miss any updates. We will be tracking every leak and rumor as we get closer to launch. What do you think? Do you prefer the tall fold or or the wide fold? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.